collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Thanos from the Avengers line as part of the Epic Heroes series from Hasbro. So as you can see right off the bat, we are back to the bubble-on card. The plastic-free packaging is a thing of the past, and we have this new Avengers-style packaging where we have the Avengers here down the side of the packaging. Now we do have Captain Marvel, who I don't believe we've seen a figure for yet. So maybe that's some foreshadowing. Maybe she's coming down the line. But we have Thanos here. He does come with the Infinity Gauntlet. And then spinning it around to the back, just have some nice artwork of Thanos and a very small, like, one-sentence bio for him in several languages. Otherwise, not really too much to the packaging, but he does look pretty cool. And hey, another villain for the line. We haven't had too many villains in the Epic Heroes series, so very excited to check this out. So I'm going to go ahead and get Thanos out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Here is Thanos out of the packaging, and I think for the most part he looks pretty good. I do kind of wish the purple on his face was just a little bit lighter. Just a little bit lighter shade of purple. That feels really dark, and it's kind of hard to see some of the details there. The eyes are so kind of small, and I believe they're just painted the same color blue as the rest of his head. So they might just be unpainted, and this piece is, molded out of blue plastic. It's kind of hard to see. But the detail that's there does look pretty good. The gold paint, I think, looks pretty nice. And you can see that stripe goes all the way around to the back. So the head is on a ball joint, so you can side to side look down fairly well. Can't look up all that much. This piece here is kind of a softer rubbery plastic, as well as the skirt piece down here. But that's good because it allows for articulation, so you have the hinge here in the shoulder, as well as the rotation. Now, obviously, they can't go all the way around because of the shoulder piece, but doesn't hinder it too much. You also have a hinge and a rotation here at the elbow, and that's a really nice, strong hinge because the arms are so big. And then you have the gauntlet here. This is all kind of molded out of gold plastic, so hopefully over time that holds up. But you can't rotate the wrists or the forearms or anything. That's one solid piece there. Nothing in the waist. Kind of wish he had a waist swivel, but these don't usually, so kind of par for the course. We have a hinge out to the side for the hip. Now, again, because of this piece, it can move a little bit because that is, kind of a softer plastic, but I probably wouldn't hold the pose out that way or display him that way because it would warp this over time. You can also kick forward about that far. Can't really kick back all that much because of the way, like, the butt's kind of made. And then you have the same hinge and rotation down here in the knee that you have at the elbow. And I would say 45 degrees maybe. Can't really go that far out. And then this is one solid piece. So no, there is a swivel as part of the knee, but nothing at the boot or nothing in the ankle, anything like that. But again, pretty standard for the Epic Hero series. It's a nice figure. Honestly, like I said, I like getting more villains. He's a nice size. He does come with the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, one thing I did notice, which is kind of a bummer, you have the 5 Infinity Stones painted here. But the one on the thumb, which should be purple, I believe, is not painted. So that's kind of a bummer. Maybe something you could fix yourself with like a Sharpie or a little bit of paint or something. But it would be nice if they had painted all 6 of the Infinity Stones. Now this is a softer, more malleable plastic. And all it does is slip over the hand here. But because it's that kind of softer plastic, it adheres pretty well. It's not going to fall off. I feel like if it was a solid plastic, it would probably fall off a lot easier. So because it's that little bit softer plastic, it does have some nice grip to it. And the other thing is, if you wanted to do, you can't really rotate this hand all the way around, but if you want, you could kind of pop the gauntlet on that way. So if you want to pose his hand like that, which otherwise you wouldn't really be able to. I mean, you could kind of, but you can't rotate that around. So it kind of works. I wish you could kind of raise this up a little bit more. You can kind of get like that, so he's kind of, doing something like that. And because it is softer, you can kind of move it around on the hand a little bit. So it helps with posing, things like that. But overall, he is a pretty nice little figure. I got this on Amazon. I think it was $12.99, which I guess is the new price for these. They were $10.99 for a while. The other thing is he is a little bit larger figure. I'm going to bring some other figures in so we can do some size comparisons here. Let me zoom out ever so slightly. So, bringing in some of the other villains we have in this line, here is Ultron from the Mechasaurs line. You can see they're about the same size. Here is the translucent Venom that I reviewed recently. For scale, here is Iron Man, one of the Avengers. So you can see this is kind of the standard size. So if he's about 4 inches, Thanos is probably 4¼ maybe 4½, something like that. So the villains are definitely larger than the standard size. And then just for fun, here is one of the Kenner Marvel Legends Retro 3 3/4 Loki there. So you can see Loki's a little shorter than Iron Man, but a lot shorter than Thanos. So just for some size comparisons with some other kind of comparable figures, I feel like he fits in well. He's definitely a larger figure. He's taller, he's broader, he's definitely more solid. So I think it makes sense for that he's a little, $1 or $2 more than a figure at this size. But yeah, he should scale well with the rest of the Avengers, and I like the Gauntlet, so I'm very happy that's included. Still wish that purple on the face was just a shade lighter so you could really see the definition, because from far away, it just has, and it's showing up a little bit darker on camera. It's a little bit lighter in person, but if it was more of like a pinkish purple, I think you could definitely kind of see the detail from a little bit further away, and that would work a little better, but at least he scales well with everybody else. So that's pretty much going to do it for Thanos. Definitely a welcome addition to the line. I'm always excited to get more villains in this line, because it has been severely lacking in the villain department, and our heroes need someone to battle. I do like the inclusion of the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm kind of bummed that that stone here on the thumb isn't painted purple. That's one of my issues. Apparently all the purple paint went to the face, and I do wish that face was a little bit lighter, just so it didn't look so, dark and hide the detail there. But other than that, he's a pretty great little figure. Nice articulation, has articulation in pretty much all the spots you would want. And these pieces being like the softer, more malleable rubber is nice so that you can, pose them. Still can't get like the exact full range of motion that some of the other figures can, I would say. I mean, shoulders out to the side fully, but the elbows, the knees, and the hips probably 45 instead of 90 degrees. Not that big of a deal, especially for a larger figure. But yeah, overall, again, very excited to get more villains, and I think Thanos looks pretty good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.